Hello everybody, this video is about Stonehenge and it's about this alignment. Stonehenge is at the apex of an equatorial triangle with Old Sarum and Groveley Castle. And this is 6 miles, 6 miles, 6 miles, 666. What's going on? Well, this reveals, for starters, this map is unbelievable. When I saw this, I couldn't believe what I was looking at, and I slowly started to try and put the pieces together of what we're looking at here. It reveals the dimensions of the capital of Atlantis. And that's what this video about. Part B is about this triangle, and that's another video, being a relic of a super civilization. Now, let's get to this video's objective. When I first saw Stonehenge a few years ago, I went up and I thought to myself, that looks like a ruined building. Was that demolished in the war? Oh, it's Stonehenge. And I've always thought, yeah, it looks a bit weird. It does look a lot like concrete. It looks contrived. It looks like it was something else, doesn't it? These are just huge blocks. These were huge blocks from some kind of fortress or something. And according to the legends, the Brits didn't carve it. They just used blocks from somewhere else. That's what they say. They never say they carved it. They say they used it from somewhere else and they assembled it. That's what the history says. This is Norman Lockyer, an absolute high-level genius from the beginning of the 20th century. He wrote some amazing books, in particular that one. Do you know what he did? He looked at all the temples in Egypt, calculated the alignments, and from this he was able to work out the prehistory of Egypt, the pre-Egypt history, and where the directions every cult came from as they advanced across Egypt. He talked about cults coming into Egypt from the north, from the east, across the Red Sea. Unbelievable man. And the archaeologists couldn't understand his work, so they ignored him because, well, he wasn't an archaeologist. Why should they pay any attention? This is better than anything you'll read in an archaeology book. Archaeologists just deal with the facts. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing, but how can they dismiss something like this? Another genius, a polymath, inventor, Alfred Watkins, in the early 20th century, he came up with ley lines in his 60s, and he suddenly realized that ancient peoples needed to be able to navigate across land, and they would go up to the top of a hill to be able to see over forests, and they would try to get to the top of another hill, and that's why Roman roads go over hilltops. They just follow the ancient ley lines. And Norman Lockyer, he was coming up with all these ideas about Stonehenge, and he used the sunrise on the solstice above the heel stone to calculate the age of Stonehenge. And he said it was, thousands of years old. He was the first one to do so. And we come back to this. It's absolutely unbelievable. 6 miles, 6 miles. Look, this is the thing. Old Sarum appears to be at the epicenter of this alignment. Now, in truth, Stonehenge is a little bit over here. This is slightly idealized, but this line is merely drawn this way to follow this ley line from Sidbury to these castle ditches. This is an ancient fortification system around Old Sarum. What is Old Sarum? And look, 6 miles. It's 6 miles. Now, 666, do you know what that means? That means, well, it's the devil's number. 666 talents were brought to King Solomon. It's because it was base 6, so it was filling up all the columns. It's like saying he's a millionaire because a million fills up the columns, the base 10 columns. So 666 fills it up in base 6 speak. In China, 666 means good luck. It means best of luck. It means luck is flowing. And that's why ancient peoples. This is miles, and the imperial system is the ancient Egyptian system. This is the ancient Egyptian system. 6 miles was chosen deliberately for good luck for this city, And look, Old Sarum is at the centre. It's 5.5 miles to another ditch, the Cleobury Rings. I'm not sure if there's any ancient debris there. There's ancient debris at Groveley Castle, ancient debris at Stonehenge, these stones, and ancient debris at Old Sarum. What is Old Sarum? Old Sarum is at the centre. It looks something like that in the 19th century. It's a series of ditches with a city in the middle. And this is what it looks like. It's absolutely amazing. There's one ditch there with a depression, another ditch here with a moat, and then this city was in the middle. And that's Atlantis. And there is such a similarity. In Atlantis there was a covered up canal heading towards the centre, and it was feeding water into all the depressions, and the sacred Poseidon complex was in the middle. And this is Old Sarum in the Middle Ages. And that's Old Sarum today. There must be a buried ditch or something heading towards this to feed it with water, if this is Atlantis. This is Old Sarum. Stonehenge, Salisbury is here in the centre of the island. If we go across this way, and Atlantis was in the centre of the island, particularly if we consider Atlantis may have had Ireland and Doggerbank as well, if there was a much bigger land mass here. Now, I'm not saying this is the Atlantis or the only Atlantis. There are other theories, sure, but I'm saying, look, this is a land mass that sank. In addition, and this is most interesting, 6 miles is the dimension given by Plato as the distance from the city of Atlantis to the outer ring wall. So there was a ring wall here around Atlantis, and it was a hexagonal sort of fortress structure. Stonehenge was a fortress. That's why it's on a slight hill. You've got a view at Stonehenge. You can see around you. So that shows that the stones at Stonehenge were fortress stones. Look at the other ones. They're castles. Castle. There must be a castle there, a castle there, a castle there as well. Stonehenge was a castle. And if that's not enough for you, in the next video, it wasn't just a castle, it was a castle later on. We're going to go even further back in time and try and understand what this actually is. Guys, thank you very much. Please sub. I love all the subs and the thumbs up. It's so awesome. And keep them coming. And thank you for your viewership. It's so awesome. Cheers.